I said, young men are coming up. I want to let be live where I swear. Now he said, Papa rapping my home and I get it. The market was doing, I'm breaking no profit. On my way, people calling me news. All the trouble I see, I do at the peace. When no suffering, no success, I can't pay the poor. Only how I get paid. Sooner or later, my hustle pay. Let pay, and I'm rushing myself. Keep it cool, everything have a CC. Too much rushing, I probably chasing. One day. One day. One day,
I'm also gonna pay one day. Enemies are gonna see my face. Me pa know I'm not watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. I know my hustle gonna pay one day. Enemies are gonna see my face. Me pa know I'm not watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. Yeah. My mama was so angry. My papa was so angry. My friend was your money. Any method will come on that miss. So I on my way. 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 I'm on my way to this person. I'm looking for money. Looking for money. Oh, looking for money. I want make mama happy. Want make Baba happy. Want make all my brothers and sisters to come around me.
Hey, Captain the Cool. Why you do you hustle? Why saying the book by the Genesis? Shall come at the price, shall come at the power. I feel be working on Wednesday. In my love for the ma, in my love for the ma. Or in the dark, or in the dark, or in the week, or in the week, or in the sun. The
mama was so angry.
My
papa was so angry. My friend was your money. Any method will come on that miss. So I on my way. 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 I on my way.
Amando, you are a famous star now. So what have you said?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lieutenant Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. I'm on Broad Street this morning at the Island Restaurant. It's a Jamaican-owned restaurant that has been here in Providence for a little while, I think. But before me, I have the proprietor. Good morning, sir. Could you tell us your name and how long this restaurant has been here?
I'm Ricky. We've been here over 5-6 years. Me and my wife. We started out a Jamaican restaurant, Caribbean. We're in front of 3 high schools, And we did burgers and fries, and that's one of the most popular items here, like burgers and fries. So all the kids from the high school, they come here after school for lunch and then after school. So this place is packed during the day with kids.
So you get a lot of support for the community.
Yeah.
Well, I want to wish you the best, and we'll spread your news about this restaurant further, so probably your clientele will increase.
Thank you for that.
Nice meeting you, Ricky.
Thank you.
And have a good day.
You too.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Tuna Commander, Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. 2 days to Christmas. Actually, in military terms, we say 1 day and wake up. Because when you wake up the next day, which is Sunday, it's going to be Christmas Day. So, what we have in the news today, right now is in the lower 50s in Providence, Rhode Island. Today is going to be a very, very, very weather-light day. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be windy. There's going to be water-forming ponds in the roads. So you got to be very careful when you're driving. Today is a 2 hands on the wheel day. Not one hand, not chilling, not wheeling. 2 hands on the wheel because there'll be water in the road. Be careful of hydroplaning. You're speeding and you get into those waters. Your tires doesn't touch the ground. The tire in the water is hydroplanes. That means it floats on the water and it flies, man. So you don't have any brakes. That's one of the things that causes accidents during rainy season. From pond sitting in the road, water forming in the road. Okay, be very careful. Wear your seatbelts, stick your teeth, and govern yourselves. If you do not need to be on the road today, stay home. Everybody traveling should be mostly gone by now, okay? For those latecomers who are going, take heed and govern yourselves accordingly, okay? Not much in the news today. We just heard about the Election Commission setting a new date for the election. But what really breaks my heart is that when I hear people saying that the Election Commission changed the election date, the registration date from December, now it's in March, because they didn't want Liberians going home for vacation to register to vote. Now, this is heart-wrenching. I mean, that's politics. People are doing anything. If the people in Liberia don't understand that the people coming home to register during the December break, and they may come back to vote for one of these parties, and you don't seek the people interested in America, you don't make sure that our NEC does not do things to impede other people coming home and voting, then you got a problem. So all these things we got to consider. Because if we don't consider it, you can't talk. You can't complain. Okay? So that's about all in the news for now. Let me put my topics up for this morning. Merry Christmas, Roland. Son Joloka of the Voodoo Room Camp. Okay, let me put my topics up for this morning. Here we are. I'm glad my guest is back. As usual, let me bring my guest on this morning. He's Mr. Melvin DeShield. Melvin, welcome to the show. How are you this morning?
Well, I thank God for life. Here in Belgium, it's very cold this morning. I think we -3 degrees, so it's really cold.
Oh, you got Celsius?
Yeah.
So Celsius on a 3 degree will be what?
That would be.
I think it's plus 32. 3 plus 32. That's 33. I forgot the formula, man. It's plus 32 minus something will give you the temperature in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, but yeah, we wanted to use the minus and plus, Anyway, yeah, it's kind of dark, and everybody either going to work, school for the kids, and well, we who endure at the moment on vacation, we are trying to take up our time to inform the Liberian people in our best way how and why things are happening the way it is in Liberia.
Sounds good, Melvin. Our topic for this morning is how we see it. Assessing Liberia's presidential candidates for the nation's 2023 presidential election. So we're going to be doing this in 4 phases. Yes, 4 phases. We're going to touch on education. We're going to touch on health. We're going to touch on governance. And we're going to touch on accountability. So all of these things, this will not be a one-day topic. So we'll lay this foundation out today. We'll talk as much as we can about what we need to talk about. So before we begin, let's just take a little short break, Melvin, and hear some sounds and get back in before we do this again. Okay?
I
Sip
agree.
your coffee. Okay, we're back, man. I'll tell you 1 second. Okay, man. When we're talking, let's start with education. I think the best way, we got 4 candidates. We got Ella Cummings, we got Papa Buckeye, we got Gongolo, and we got George Weah, right?
Yes.
Okay, so right now Weah is a incumbent. So how we assess the education system at this time is education program as president of the country at this time.
Well, from my opinion, and from my observation, I see that the system that they are talking about in Liberia at this moment, which is educational, I think is being characterized as being fake. The reason I'm saying this is because the government announced free education. Free education, in a sense, as we know it, the market women will have an opportunity to sell the fish, but will use that money in doing other things for the children, or rather, they are fighting hard, selling the fish every day, going to the market to get money to pay the children's school fees. And the government is telling us that there's free education.
First,
Now,
Mary, let's get this. Let's get the meaning of free education. What does he mean by free education?
well, in the Liberian people mind, free education is supposed to be a child will be able to go to school. Probably the minimum fee he will be able to pay will be that registration fee. But educational materials and all of that, I believe is supposed to be given to the kids, and they will not pay no school fees, and that what we term as free education.
So you're talking about copybooks, books, all that, pencils. The government supposed to provide a free education system.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That the books and things will be included, but I think the copybooks and stuff, then pencils and pen will be taken care of by the parents. Now, if you check the system out, you found out that the schools are using the parents to gain income. The schools selling uniforms also, and they are forced to buy the uniform from the school. Whereas if a parent go to a tailor shop with the materials to sew his or her child a uniform, it will cost less than what the school will be charging. If the school is charging about $50 for the children uniform, which they make it compulsory, and that child parent can at least go down to the water side or find some tailor with the material and sew it the same old way, and will cost them less than that, and they are not given the opportunity, then I see that they are hinging on the parents to build up their own of whatever they have as their income within the system. of that particular school.
Well, you see, as for uniform, I don't want to get into uniform because during our time we bought our own uniform.
Yeah.
Because that it shows uniform. Because if everybody will make the uniform, one person pocket 3/4 down the way, the other person pocket way up here. One person ain't got no pocket, they just got a little watch pocket. So it may look awkward. Maybe when you say green, you have people come with different shades of greens, different shades of white. So when parents go through their own, people always go for the cheapest way to outcome. And you may not have that kind of uniformity for the uniforms. So that one I want to stay away from uniform, but things that pencil. But you're right. We should decide what aspect of this free education is the responsibility of the parents, and which aspect of the free education is the responsibility of the government. Did they do that?
We have to differentiate.
Did they do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to differentiate. That the parents have that cost for the children going to school. That will include a uniform, pencil, pen, and
registration, maybe registration.
But the government is supposed to be taking care of that school fee and the materials within the school setting that will give the children that quality education, and that is missing. Even down to chairs. There's no chairs in most of the schools. 80% of the schools, the children have to carry their own chairs to school. And I mean, what kind of education is that?
The buildings are terrible. In disrepair, the school buildings. No windows. Some of them ain't got no windows. Some of them boarded up.
Bad condition.
Yeah.
The conditions are so bad that I don't think that's why I say that the people and the children are not getting quality education. You cannot go to school the first thing you're hungry. Your mind got money to pay.
I want to talk about food. I didn't want to feed them in the school.
You go to school, you even get reset money. Number one, you went to school, you didn't have no money, you didn't eat before going, and your mind even got money to give you to buy reset. You go out there, you see the other kids then at least buying a little cool air, buying a little shortbread to eat, and you just there looking at them and you have to beg them. Now, will that give you that setting, that mindset to go in the class and learn something? I doubt it.
Yes. I doubt it. It's very sad because even in America, when children go to school hungry. The food programs for the schools, one of the very important things. Teachers carry snack for the children. All through the day, the children want snack. My wife teaches at the middle school right now. She's a substitute. She goes to school, she got to carry a snack for the children. She does that willingly because all through the day, the children want to eat.
Yeah.
They're so used to eating. And it's so good that all the teachers in America, many of them, take snacks in for the children. They buy the snacks and take it in for them. And they consider it the children. And our teachers like this.
Our teachers, our teachers who have the same, if they have, what I would say, if they have the willpower. But there's no willpower because the teachers themselves,
they're not getting paid.
They're underpaid. Not
getting paid.
They're not getting paid. Yeah, all right. In more instances, they're not even getting paid. And after every 4 months, probably they'll get 1 month pay. And how will they be able to get that money and say they share it with the children that they catering to? It's so sad.
How do you survive for 4 months on a small salary?
Yeah, that's so sad that it comes back to the government. Where you have the Minister of Finance that's supposed to take education as a priority, has a little file in his hand with everything that is the projection of the government within that file.
Wow.
My brother.
So what do
If
you
anybody have to see that file, that bro going broke.
Why you taking frame? You rich.
The fact remains is that everything that that finance minister does is within that little file. You know, how he pays, who he pays. There are a lot of questions that the legislature have been asking him about the debts that he paid out, the vendors. Who are the vendors? Who are the people that the government owe? Up until now,
You can see it.
2 years ago, he have never answered that particular question because the vendors are selective. You know, if they're going to pay a vendor for what he had done for the government always, who he paid, always got 20% within that cut.
But did they give to anybody that
Right. So with all of those that they paid, they got 20% cut within it. So they refuse to tell the Liberian people and the legislature that they don't want to bring in these folks, because if they bring in these folks, it will give us the chance and opportunity to go and ask the people questions. And they don't want that to happen. It's a failed, it's a failed system, you know, completely failed. You know. That's why I said to myself, a bad system will beat a good person every time. A bad system will beat a good person every time. I'm saying this because even if you bring in a good person and put them within the bad system, it damages them, you know. And we see a lot of people that have gone in that we believe that fit to do the job, but after a while, you find out a twist that have come into them. Why? Because they have to follow the system, that they're into a system that is corrupt, into a system that have no governance, into a system that there is no visionary. So it's a dead thing. So everybody do their own thing. You know, it's bad off.
Well, maybe I told you that why I left Liberia, because at that time when they were bringing the finance ministry for the checks, for the old people that were stolen, they were kept at the top of where Steve Topper used to have his helicopter pad up there in the finance ministry. They changed that into a storage room. And that way they used to keep all the check stubs in the 1980s. When look outside, taking the people, eating the people check, all the dead people, the people dead, they taking their checks months and months. When they went to investigate them, they set that whole room on fire. Then they went there to put the fire out. On the top of the table, they wasted the water. The water sprinkled down all down the floor. I mean, all through the building. You got some. You listening to yourself over there, Melvin?
Yeah.
You listening to yourself?
No.
I hear this thing in the background. I hear this echo.
Yeah, the echo is not from me.
Well, not from like this. I know. So anyway, we gotta work on it. You must be listening. I hear me.
I hear you with small echo. Do you hear me with echo?
I don't hear talking. Let me hear you.
I'm saying I'm hearing you with small echo, and your voice is cracking. Am I?
But my thing shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, now you clear a little bit now.
I can still hear the echo. Okay, it's gone. When I lay back, okay, I think I gotta come in front a little bit. Okay, let's carry on. So, how we compare this regime's educational system of free education with Borka's proposed educational system? Does he have one?
Well, from what we heard and what we have read from the manifesto of Borka, I see nothing there with education. Everything there is rule. and that confuses me because the problem in Liberia, we have to attack it from the educational point.
Maybe not take it on your side. Because
You think so?
yeah, when you talk like yeah, and when I talk a little coming into your side of the mic because my mic,
Yeah,
yeah,
the echo is off.
yeah. Sit lay back and talk. Lay back and talk. Talk.
The echo is off.
Yeah, a little bit is off, yeah. Okay, continue.
I think it was coming from my speakers.
Okay, yeah. Though I see you had something on. So
No, I had the speakers on loud.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, this speaker was coming back or this
Yeah,
coming
probably
back.
was
I
loud.
see you had something on. Okay, yeah, shut the speaker off because I can hear you now. Okay,
Okay.
all the noise off. Yeah, go ahead. We're talking about Boca.
Yeah, so I don't see anything in the manifesto talking about education. If I'm corrected, I hear they talk mostly about rules. And he failed to realize that a country cannot keep on in its path of having the uneducated, what we would say, or the people who didn't go to school, be a majority of running the affairs of our country. And that is what is happening now, and it's an ingrowth tendency of all the other government not to put priority on education. Most of the government that have come in since the Toba regime have come in, and at a certain stage they forget about education and go to protecting themselves, within that setting. Like if they have for 5-6 years, they come in and they will set up they will set up the government, and later on the public will want to know what the government is doing. Questions being asked, years are passing by, and none of them had taken education as a priority, and that had affected that had affected the generation now and any generation to come. Because if you don't educate the generation today, how will they be prepared to help those for tomorrow? That's my question.
Well, maybe I just think the corruption, the stealing is so damn much that how you look at education, how you look at anything else. If one man taking so many millions of dollars, now look, I was just talking about it with my wife. You got people, the president receiving $200,000 every month, every Saturday. You got to turn that thing down, man. Something said you got to something coming. You turn it off. You can't hear me. You can hear me.
I can hear you now.
Well, you don't need that thing then because that was causing the echo.
But if I take it, I won't be able to hear you because that's a speaker attached to the computer.
Oh, okay. Well, just keep it low. Once you can hear.
Okay, I'll keep it low.
I'll put headphone in. You got one of those headphones?
Okay, it's off now.
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah, it sounds better.
You can hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. Okay, anyway, talk. I can hear you.
You can hear me? You can hear me? You can hear me now? Turn it up. You can hear me?
Okay, I can hear you right there. You can hear me now? Noise within your ears?
Yeah, but next time buy one of these headphones you use for the thing and just put one in your ear and put it in your thing. That will cut the noise down, okay?
Okay then.
Yeah, you just started, so you gotta learn all the tricks of this thing. So if you can't hear me that way, then you gotta buy a headset and put it in, plug it in, and put it in one ear. Then we'll still talk, okay? Because the way that is, it give me feedback. Every time I talk, you can hear, I can hear myself. But anyway, all these people doing their educational programs for Liberia, we were on education, so let me just start from there. We cannot stop one program to focus on one program. Our country is so backward, man. Our country is so terrible. Everything is destroyed. School, roads, water, health. We're talking about all those things. So how do we concentrate on one thing? With all the people stealing. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. With all the stealing, man. Everybody wants something to take home. How can we ever have free education?
There won't be any good intention for the people. Let's take, for instance, the president took a trip of 48 days and he spent $3 million US. The Memorial Consolidated School System needs at least $1 million plus at the moment to revamp them, pay the instructors and try to put it up to date. All the little government schools that are around that needed any small funds, I think that $3 million will have helped them a lot. A lot. If the government will have them come up and say, we're giving you $3 million now, that would have been something more productive than the president taking a trip, leaving the country, and using the taxpayers' money up to about $3 million plus to enjoy himself, come back with no kind of accountability.
Well, you see, the part about it, baby, if he hadn't taken that money would still have been stolen second away. Look at what happened at Liches. Look at what happened at all the ministries. They're not making they're not making performance reports. So that means they got $150-something million. All these ministries. And they're supposed to make performance reports. Tell us how much of that money they use for what? What were results of the program they put that money in? Was it positive? Were they successful? Should we continue investing in them? Or should we scratch them? Were there no performance report? So here we are, $150-something million gone. These people have not reported. We don't know how they're spending that money. So that goes to say that every ministry in our government just doing what they want to do. The Anti-Corruption Commission just came out and filed a complaint against it, saying 15 of the 20 ministries have not filed performance report. So that means only 5 ministries filed performance report, telling us what they did with their money, and 15 have not filed. So what happened to all these $1 million dollars we investing in our ministries, in our government, in these programs? All this money we invest in, man, it's just going to nothing. Okay, maybe just to hear that every Saturday the president get $200,000 from our company, or $100,000 for himself from the port, or $50,000 from transportation. Now they say all the transportation money means given to George Weah House. The Memorial Transportation, all the money they collect every day, it goes to George Weah House. How can we continue? Charles Taylor did the same thing. Did the same thing. How can we
Rodney, we have a failed economic policy. The government, because one of the candidates, I think Cummings, in one of his podcasts, said to the Liberian people that he had the potential of taking the Liberian economy up to $1 billion. The government heard that, went into their own setting, came out that they had raised our budget from $500 million to $800 million. knowing very well that they don't have that capacity to collect such a kind of money. The 500 that they own, they could not even collect it well, and they had carried the budget up to 800 million.
You just collect it and steal it.
You know, and the common man believe that 800 million is almost the same thing that Cummings were talking about 1 billion. So our people, our government could can raise the money too. You see what went into the people's mind? So the people back the government. Backing the government and not knowing better. That's why I say education is needed. Not knowing better that the trickle effect that you're going to have on them. None of them realizing that this thing here, it cannot work. It's fake. It's completely fake. That 800 million to talk about, the government cannot collect money, the revenue, to even pay the taxpayer, pay vendors, and to supply the different ministries with the different material to have that ministry to be run in the right way. It's a complete mess.
Okay,
A complete mess right there. So that boasting about 800 million, all of that, that is fake.
Okay.
People cannot even raise up to about 400 million because the budget of the government taxpayer employees, I think it's about 330 million.
Well, you know,
they collect that. Much more to say, having things for the different ministries. You see what the information minister was talking about. He don't even have money to go on different radio stations to talk.
But now I tell you that all we do is collecting money just to pay salaries.
That's all.
Money
you know, just to please the government employees. Yeah, we will pay you. And that's all. They cannot even come up with that.
We can't do nothing else. And they have stolen so much. There's nothing else. There's nothing else for them to do nothing else with. All the money gone, and they're not bringing in money. They're not bringing in investors. They're not opening ways for us to get money. So they just they're throwing up a Hail Mary ball too, just throwing it up and hope somebody catches it. Hail Mary, because how a country will run like that? We're running a social club. This is a damn club. You can't run a government in this. The president he hasn't even made a report to us of his trip. So now don't let us lose sight of this education thing now. What about Gongolo?
Well, Gongolo coming on, I didn't hear much about education too. He mostly about rules, law, and order, governance, catching the corrupt people, changing the system to what he believed, sweeping out corruption. That's why he got his broom with him, the super corruption. You know, and that from his manifesto, you know, and that's why he said he want to bring the Liberian people. So I didn't hear much about education.
So from what you're telling me, are these guys' platforms balanced?
I didn't hear you.
Do they have balanced platforms? Telling us what they're going to do and how they're going to do it?
Yeah, they have been going around preaching their message, trying to get the people to understand the manifesto for what they will be standing for. And I didn't hear about, I hear about rule and order, you know. The education from Cummings, I hear that Cummings had a STEM school.
Yeah, well, because we haven't heard much about education from Buckeye. We haven't heard much about education from Gongolo. So now you're saying, let's talk about Cummings now. What about Cummings on education?
Well, what we know is that Cummings have a STEM school in Liberia. They have other schools that he gave subsidies to. But the STEM school is the only STEM school that is in the Republic of Liberia. And that is the new trend of form of education that is trending around the world right now. That includes math, science, physics, and computer, you know. And they have that school there. I think they have 2 there in Ghana. And it's mostly here in Europe and America. They're adopting to that particular system now. And yeah, that's the only one that that is running there. And he focusing mostly on education. Education is one of the big things on his platform.
So
On his
all
manifesto.
these candidates, Cummings is the only one that has a school.
Yeah, he's the only one that I know that have a school.
The rest of them don't own schools or anything.
No.
Okay, so the educate. Una George we are talking about free education.
Yeah, John, we came out with a policy of free education, which
no, yes, free
realized that
education.
the parents don't move for money to pay the same school fee while he say it's free.
Okay, so we gotta zap that because that's
Yeah.
not free education. All the market women complaining that they paying school fees.
Zero. The education system for under job we are is kaput.
Yes,
We say kaput.
it's terrible. So Boca doesn't have no system for education.
No.
Mongolo
He's
doesn't
not
have no
stressing
system.
on that. That's not part of his priority. His priority is rules.
Congolo that law and order.
Yeah, Congo that rule and law and corruption, sweeping corruption.
Cummings own that's what?
Cummings want to bring in investors. He want to educate. He want to bring in good schools. He changing the education system for the people.
Is he the only one propounding these kind of things here about education, all of that?
Yeah. From what I have been listening to.
Wow. So what's your take on all of that? We got all these people running for positions in our country. And the Cummings is the only one that investing in schools, putting money.
He's the only one that in his manifesto talk much about schools.
And actually they're doing something about it.
Yeah, he's doing something because he had one already that was built by Coca-Cola and one of the international groups.
Yeah,
And they're running it. His foundation is running it.
So what do we have to say for education now before we close this topic for the day on education?
Well, I said one thing. I had a dream about how we can overcome this educational thing. I believe whosoever want to be president should have free and compulsory education. I use the word compulsory because it's the same old thing that John Weah said, free education, and we who are observing and watching and monitoring have realized that it's not free. So what we should do and how we will know that it's free is that we who on the outside see in Liberia that every morning all the small children go to school. We see in the afternoon that the Yana boys then go to school from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. We see it in Liberia that the market women go to school from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the evening.
So how are we going to do that now, man?
How we're going to do that is that we're giving everybody an opportunity to go to school, and it is free.
So if it's
Now,
how will
when we talk about the free, it will be followed up when we talk about the meal for the children. We're going to empower the farmers to plant the Liberian rice, that country rice. We have to introduce it to our children, that it will be part of the system. When we were coming up, our people introduced us to PBC, the parboiled rice from America. You understand me? If they had introduced us to the country rice when we were coming up, we are going to learn till now to be eating our country rice. So what the children learn from small, that is what they're going to adopt themselves with for the future. I'm saying is that the government subsidize and will make it a priority. Let the farmer grow the rice. The government buy the rice from them, and send it to the schools, and every school, the children will be eating country rice.
My question, Melvin, why does it only have to be rice? If we're going to start reorienting our children from Pusawa rice to country rice, and you suggesting that we start these things in the schools,
Yeah.
why would we start feeding them yam and cassava and potato?
Yeah. That would be part of it also. Yeah. But our staple food is rice. So we introduce the country rice, the yam, the cassava, and other things. We'll educate them that in the case of no rice.
You saying that our people started indoctrinating us to Pusawa rice from school when we were small. So if that happened and all of us, our major meal now, while we're in the schools, we can diversify our meals instead of going just with rice. I'm not saying they shouldn't stop planting rice, because they could still plant rice and everybody eat the rice. We minimize the importation of Pusawa rice. Right now we're importing big amount. We say, okay, we just started with the country rice. We'll bring in 3/4 Pusawa rice, 1/4 country rice. So that will spread to the country. When Pusawa rice finish, you go to the country rice, and then we finish it. Then as we grow more, we say, okay, we'll bring 50% Pusawa, people will eat 50% country. That we minimize on the importation. Then we make importation of Pusawa rice only for people who can afford it. That when we start taxing it, it becomes a subject to tax, because they're not our people's table food anymore. We try to diversify the food now so our people can eat country rice. And you suggesting, one of your suggestions, which is good, starts in the schools. Let's start feeding the children country rice in the school for lunch as their meal in schools, and the government subsidize that. Then from the children eating it, they will be used to eating at home. Because if the children don't want to eat cassava and country rice, the parents will not buy country rice too. But if the children eating the country rice in school, because that's the only meal they got to eat in school, like you remember we used to eat buckwheat at St. Patrick?
Yeah. I know that.
Were you hungry, my man? Were you hungry?
You see, but you will not eat buckwheat at your house, but you eat buckwheat in the school. But you know that buckwheat is a subsidy for rice when you don't have it. One day, buckwheat will serve it correct. Yeah. That's what I'm saying about the country rice. You know, right now, I want you to get the point. The point is that we're trying to empower first the farmers. That's the encouragement for them to know that the rice will be bought by the government. Secondly, we are training our children to have that diverse feeling of eating, because we have had experiences during our time, or like during the war time, when there was no rice, we had to go to Baba John and other things. And these were things that we had never done before, but we had to adapt to it because we're into a situation that we could not get ourselves out of. So we had to adapt to other things.
Yeah, but you see, rice is not a buckwheat.
We're empowering the farmers to grow more rice. We encourage the schools through the free meal a day for the kids, and for the children to realize that they're eating food from their own soil, and it's the best. And when we get it from the kindergarten age upward, when that child happens to graduate from high school, they will have some level of thinking about whether they should do farming, whether farming is good, how good was the country rice, and it will create a different mindset of this of country rice and Pusawa business. It gives them their own feeling of making their own judgment of what they want to eat and how they feel like eating it.
I like your idea of targeting the kids. I mean, that's why I say we need to set up a commission in our country to set up education, because all these people coming with their education and with their policies, and more than really touching education. Even Elliot Cummings, Elliot Cummings, that school is by Coca-Cola. That school is by, It's good that his family is running it, but it's an outside institution that built it for him for Liberia. Actually, it should be for Liberia, Coca-Cola building and all of that. It should be in Cummings' name. But maybe he put some money in there. We don't know. I ain't getting into that. But it's good that he has that kind of school in Liberia, and we should do more because all these other people don't have no plans. And like you say, education is a priority. Just the anything else, just the law, just the roads, is a priority. So how do we prioritize our development? We can't just concentrate on schools and forget roads. We can't just concentrate on roads and forget health. We can't concentrate on health and forget accountability because all these things make things work in our country. The more we can hold people accountable, the more we can save money for our country. All these things about maybe in a poor country like ours, why would the president be getting money from every ministry and agency for a personal use? Why? I mean, this is just the epitome of corruption. I mean, our country is so poor and bare and nothing in our country. And the people just ripping us off. Ripping us off, man, for their personal enjoyment and use. And you see, this will hurt me, man, because I look at my country, I look at my people, I look at our resources, I look at our potential. Just the potential of my people can change my country. But because our leaders are so short-sighted, so damn greedy, and have no consciousness of understanding self-worth, they can't pass that down to our people. So here we are in a nation that we can rebuild ourselves. We don't need really that much help from foreigners. We got to start from ourselves, understanding that we have the potential in our country to rebuild and lift ourselves up. Not even rebuild first, we got to lift ourselves up, then rebuild. But we can't, everything else we're doing, we're not focusing on lifting ourselves up. And that's the foundation of nation building. Where do we start to lift ourselves up, man? Because the people we got are not conscious of self-worth. When you're not conscious of self-worth, they won't come to America, to the foreigners. They won't beg for money. They want Millennium Compact. All these things good. But they can't be the foundation of nation building. They cannot be the foundation of lifting our people up. We got to empower our people. How do we empower them? We got to give them self-esteem. How do we give them self-esteem? Because right now, we don't have self-esteem. Look at the kind of money our people making. Look at the standard of living in our country, man. It has fallen, man. When people tell you down waters are flooded with feces, what comes to your mind, man? How can our people live when the whole area is covered with feces? I mean, that's a just total breakdown of society. Our society has broken down, man. How do we get the energy to empower our people to lift up? I think you talked the other day about doing the church and all the children had on slippers and things like that. That what you said that? Or they were bare feet or barefoot? I don't know. Somebody was talking about saying all the children in the rafter, they didn't have no shoes on and things like that. I didn't see that. I didn't really pay attention to that. But if people see all those kind of things, there's a problem. There's a problem, man. Even in that church, was that church enough to fill the people of the Monrovia in to see the president? Yeah, the president. Was that church big enough? That church wasn't big enough. We got this tender pavilion. We got a city hall. We got all the big places where the president will go and fill those places up with dignitaries and people, local people to hear what he got to say to us. But instead of that, you go in a private church. And you see, man, it just brings us down, man. Our country is not a Christian nation. No, our country, we got Christians. We may have majority Christians, but our nation is not Christian. We got to respect the rights of the other people in our country, the Muslims, the other people, the Buddhists, the animists, all the people, they can't come to the church. Some of the religions, they're not Christians. Some of our religions forbid us to go in the mosque, and all the time we're not supposed to go there. I mean, we can go there to look around, but not to worship or put on any religious thing from the mosque. No, we can't do that. That's not our religion. Same thing, other people can't come in the church because they're not their religion. They can't let their children come in the church. And if everything in our country just church, it's not an equal country. We violate our constitution. Our constitution separates church from state. If you want to be a Christian, make billboards. Pull it up. Just in America, you know how many people that put billboards up? Everywhere you go, you see billboards. Love Jesus. Love this. There are private people doing it. The government can't do it. But if you want to promote your faith, put money into doing it and do it the right way. But don't rely on the government going to churches every day. The president using church as the means of enticing our people because our people are Christians. You can't do that. And what makes him mad even more, I talked about this yesterday, we'll soon be getting off. Christians in Liberia are to let we know is not right. Devout Christians in Liberia are to let our president know that the church is not a place for political mongering. We got to send a loud message to Joe Weah. We got to demonstrate. Wherever you having a church, we got to go and shut it down. He can't be doing that. That is desecrating our country.
It come back to what I said yesterday. Is Liberia cursed or the people are cursed? Because I reminded you about the 300,000 people that died. I also reminded you that they have not been memorialized. And I also reminded you that the spirit are still within our setting.
You're in trouble.
There will be no government that will run that country successfully if they don't address the issue of the dead people. I've been saying it 20 years ago, and everybody be overlooking it because I'm not a prophet.
No, I agree with you.
I feel it that those people want this thing to be addressed, and they will disturb any government that is in. Can you go back to the biblical time that when Moses went to receive the 10 Commandments, and when he came back, the people were worshiping elephants that were made out of gold, the Egyptian and all the other people, and he broke the tabernacle. What happened from that time? That is when everybody started to speak different languages and different tone. That's exactly what happened to Liberia in biblical time. They killed a man of God. They went into a church and killed 600 persons into a church. They killed Mother Dukley, a recognized religious woman.
Evangelist.
They killed all the religious people. You don't think that our country is cursed? We overlook. We're looking at government. We're looking at building. We're looking at things. The spiritual aspect of our country is dead, and we are not talking about it. We're not addressing it, and the devil will keep us talking about other issues, and we'll never address the real issue for our brother to be saved. Finally, we will never be saved if we won't address the issues I'm talking about today. Because I thought about these things about 22 years ago, and people don't seem to grasp this understanding of what I'm saying.
Well, Melvin, in my view, what you're saying is very quite correct. But one of the other things why we're not grasp what you're saying is because we're avoiding justice. When we avoid justice, the war crimes court, the economic court, we're not holding people accountable. When we hear the atrocities that these people committed among our people, and they are held accountable for it, the people that are dead will come and make us memorialize them. Because right now, people were killed for nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
And these people ruling our country. The very people that murder our people were for innocent people. Rape innocent women and people. These are our leaders today, Melvin.
That's true. That's true.
I keep talking.
That's true.
How will our countries change when our Nima people looking at Prince George as a man to change our country? When all our leaders looking at murderers and killers as the leaders for our country, how can we change? Our people are part of the murdering. Our people supporting the murdering of each other because when you support Prince Johnson, who murdered innocent people from other tribes, and you say you need my man, you support him because he saved you. What happened to the other Liberians that he innocently killed, that he doesn't want to be held accountable for? If these people are fair, let the chips fall where they may.
Rodney.
No crime. You didn't know crime. Okay, let open the courts. Let judge us. If we're not guilty, our peers will tell us we're fair. We can't hold you guilty. The law will tell us we don't have enough evidence to convict this man. But if you're avoiding the law and you're avoiding the opportunity to be freed by the law, then you're guilty.
There's nothing we can do, Rodney. There's nothing we can do. You know what we can do as a people and as a people and nationalists and patriots of our country is to petition the legislator to change that article that got the people into power. That article is what is backing Prince Johnson today.
The petition when Prince Johnson is there.
Yes, that article 87 or something that stated that those that went for the peace accord and they came up with these warlords participating into the political thing. It is into the Constitution. Prince Johnson is saying to us is that once it's in the Constitution, we cannot do him nothing. It's a fact.
But
nobody trying to propagate to get that particular
you can't put the cart before the horse. How will change the law when Prince Johnson is in the house? How will change the law with all the same rogues and murderers in the house? And then you tell
you don't want to tell me that we have majority within the legislature that can vote.
We got to conscious ties the Liberian people to vote those people out. All those people in the house, our legislators scared of them. Look at Suakoko Dennis, who's the representative for somewhere. She refused for them to name the school in Nima County after Prince Johnson. What he did, he threatened her and sent people to kill her in her house. You know that? This thing happened.
Yeah, but where you getting it backing from? Where you getting it backing from? He getting it backing from the Constitution. He getting it backing from the Constitution. The Constitution backing.
As long as the people are in our government, they will tamper with the laws. Look at all of them backing we are. We are doing everything he want to do because our legislatures are backing him. They corrupt. They don't want to be caught. So the Liberian people got to become conscious and vote those people out. When Nima people know that Prince Johnson is no more a dignified man to be senator of Liberia and vote him out and move from behind him from being party leader and all these kind of things, then we know that our people are ready to be united. Our people are ready to change. But the very people who want to change are the people backing the warlords.
That is the problem.
The whole of Nima County banning Prince Johnson, what will do? Melvin, let's bring this show to an end.
Yeah.
People won't call to. I know people won't come on to talk to. But anyway, you know what?
Internet, I'll call you.
Okay, you know, we'll continue this topic tomorrow. I mean, we'll conclude on the education tomorrow, and we'll go into the health. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the first part. We are dealing with the 4 issues that, as how we see it. We're going to look at education. We're going to look at health. We're going to look at what other one we talk? Accountability.
Governance. And accountability.
Yes. So governance will cover everything. You know, governance cover everything. So
yeah,
I think we should make accountability should be the last 2. So the 2, we'll talk about health tomorrow. We'll start with health tomorrow, And if we're going to governance, we're going to it. If not, we'll go that for the next day. Okay, Melvin? You got any closing message before we leave? You got any closing message?
Well, my closing message is that we're asking people to share the show. We're trying to promote the show, and we're trying to promote the mindset of what we believe could help to change the populace in making decisions. The information and things that we gave them will help them to make their own informed decision in what they want to do. Instead of them listening to people that tell them things and they believe we're all having the mind of the self to make rational decisions. That's what I want my message to go out them to. Let them share the show.
Well, thank you very much, Melvin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard him. Ain't much I can say to that. He said it all. So, Melvin, make sure you get a hair, one of those hair thing, man. One of those things to plug in your thing and plug in your ear.
Okay, I'll try to get one.
You don't need a hairset. You didn't get the hair, the robot, the thing we use for the phone. Okay, and the regular radio, one of the small things that will stop the noise and you hear clear. Okay.
Okay, and I thank you for your time, and I thank you again.
Okay, man. Yeah. Tomorrow, I thank you too, brother. We'll be on tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, as the show is 1 hour, we went a little bit over, but I hope you don't. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll see you soon. Have a good day, and take heed. Cover yourselves accordingly.